What is up, you guys? Back at it again with another video. Today we're going to be going over the drift car, getting it all ready for Winter Jam. It's going to be in like 2 weeks, so we're going to go through, try and get the car all ready and just make sure it's all running good, bolt check all the fluids. I'm going to show you how I get my car ready for a drift event. So yeah, let's get into it. About to get a little cold start in. Oh, this thing's disgustingly dirty. Alright, let's get a cold start. So first things first, I do know that it's extremely low on power steering fluid because it leaks all of it out. So I'm gonna try and fix that real quick. The reservoir is completely empty. So I'm gonna go ahead, take the front bumper off, get the car up on jacks, and we're gonna see where it's leaking from. Alright, car's up on jack stands. Let's take a look, see what we can find. So right off the bat, I can see it's leaking from this fitting. And it's leaking from this one back here as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and tighten those down and check the rest of them real quick. Alright, we got those fittings all tight. Now I'm gonna go under and kind of clean it all up because there's a bunch of just gunk and power steering fluid and dirt and grease all under there. So I'm just gonna go in, clean it all up and fill it back up with fluid, and then we'll bleed the system, and from there we should be good to check the rest of the car. Alright, so we got it all cleaned down under there, and I did notice a while ago that it's leaking a little bit from those fittings down under there. Let me see if I can. I'm gonna go ahead and tighten those up, and then we should be good to fill it up and bleed it. Alright, so we just tightened up those lines. I'm gonna toss the intake back on, and then we should be good to go. Alright, so I use Valvoline ATF. This stuff works fine, it's great, does what it needs to do. I'm just gonna go ahead and fill her up. Alright, she's all full now. You guys can kind of see it in there. It's all nice and full. Now we're gonna go ahead and bleed the system. And I'll give you guys a quick tutorial on how to do it. Not a super in-depth one, but basically you just get in the car, start it up so the pump is obviously spinning, and then you just go lock to lock about like 4 or 5 times. Leave the cap off the power steering reservoir, and then that'll pump all the fluid through the lines, and it'll push out all the air bubbles up top. So let's go ahead and get that done, and then we'll go on to a bolt check in the car. Alright, now that the power steering fluid has been bled, double check our level. You can't really see, but still full, so that's good to go. Then we're just gonna toss the cap back on. Tighten it up. And now I'm gonna pop off the wheels on each side, and I'm gonna go through the suspension, make sure it's all tight, and I think we might try to lower it just a little bit. So we'll see about that. And yeah, I'm gonna start with popping off the wheels. Alright, new issue. One of my buddies took the socket that I need to get these off, so I'm gonna go run to AutoZone and get that real quick so I can take the wheels off. Socket has been acquired. Let's get these wheels off. Alright, now we're gonna go through and check all of our mounting locations on the control arms, everything that holds the suspension to the actual car itself. We're gonna go through and just give it a quick tighten, make sure it's all good. Everything looks pretty good from under here. Just give it a quick little bolt check. Alright, now we're going to move on, tighten these 3 top hat nuts, and we'll move on to the other side over there. Alright, all good. Alright, this side's all good, everything checked out, all nice and tight. One thing I did notice is this tire right here, a little low on air. So we're gonna go ahead and fill that up and then move on to the other side. Alright, so I just went through and tightened all this stuff on this side. I already did it on that side, so I mean, wasn't really a point in showing it again, but that's all tight. It's all good. And then up here, those are all tight. So I'm gonna slap the wheel back on. I'm gonna drop it down in the front, and then I'm gonna raise the rear because I think my axles are loose, but we'll double check that real quick. Just wanted to say, headers are looking kind of cool. Definitely getting hot. Should probably heat wrap them, but it's a pain, so I don't feel like taking them off to heat wrap them, so oh well, it'll be fine. Alright, so the front end, everything checked out. So we're gonna go ahead and drop the car down, put the front bumper back on, and then we might turn the car around. Either that or we'll just go to the rear, jack up the back, and then we'll take a look at the rear end, make sure everything's good there, and yeah, we'll see. Alright, she's back on the ground. Bumper's back on. Let's move on to the... Alright, I decided just to flip the car around. Makes it easier. I gotta take the rear bumper off, and then I'm Alright, so one of the first things I can see is this rear has a lot of camber compared to the passenger side. Passenger side is close to 0. I'm gonna try and 0 them both out, but that's kind of a lot. So that's gonna be one of the things I'm gonna fix, and I'm gonna go through, make sure it's all tight. Same thing as we did in the front, just in the back. And yeah, let's get to it. Alright, I just got it up in the air. I'm gonna bolt check everything and then we'll do the alignment. That way if anything's loose, it doesn't mess with the alignment. So let's get started. I'm gonna start by taking the wheels off. Look at this dude, bruh. 4 hours later, my guy. 5 hours. 5 hours. Jesus Christ.